Hey peeps, what go on? You don't know, it's your boy Kamani Brown, back with another video, right? And this one is actually coming on the heels of the previous video where I showed the unboxing of a Apple certified refurbished MacBook Air 2020 M1. These guys' names are just too damn long. But anyway, guys, one mistake I will say that we made was that we sort of skimped on the storage. I mean, that's something that you should always consider when you purchase a new machine, laptop, desktop, phone, whatever. And well, we haven't hit the upper limits of the storage yet. It's a 256 gig SSD in it at the moment, but it's going to be sooner rather than later that we run out of that because we do video edits and so forth. So the purpose of this video is to show you guys a very cheap and effective way to increase your storage. Now, there's a little drawback and a little bit of, compromise in that, but, it is what it is. Now, what we're doing, we're actually going to set up one of these. This is an NVMe SSD into one of these, an external enclosure for an NVMe SSD drive. Now, it doesn't have to be this one, it doesn't have to be this drive, but these are the ones that I have at the moment, because this is actually what I installed in that broken ass Windows laptop. I'm still vexed about that, people. Like, the thing, we barely had it a year. It fell from waist height, almost snapped in half. You guys saw the video, right? But I actually upgraded the storage from a 256 drive to this. Now, we don't have that option with the the MacBook Air. That's one drawback. It is soldered, the storage is soldered onto the board itself, and there's no way to expand it on your own, right? So it go, as we say it here in Jamaica, it's life, right? And life in the Apple ecosystem. So it go. Now, what I'm going to do is actually back up the storage on that old machine, rip out its guts, stick it in this, show you guys the finished product. You guys are actually going to see the process in installing this into this. It's pretty simple, guys, but I mean, just to show you guys how simple it is, also going to show you guys how expensive it is, which is not at all. This thing was like 50 to 100, I think. No, it's about 90 something dollars. 1 terabyte. I think this is, I think this is a Gen 3 up to 2,400 megabytes per second NVMe drive. And this is just really and truly a generic SSD. I mean, for real, to get the real speed out of this, I'd recommend that you actually, get something more akin to the Thunderbolt transfer speeds. But by Thunderbolt, I mean Thunderbolt 3 or 4, but that's extra money. Those cost like, upwards of $100 or a couple $100. Now, this was cheap, and I had it laying around. Yet again, I'm all about saving money, peeps. Use what you have. But anyway, guys, let's get straight into it. Well, here she is, people. So yeah, as you can see, and as you probably saw from the previous video, this thing's a mess. So time to get in them guts, get right into this, rip out the drive. I'm not sure if it can go back together again after this, but whatever, let's get into it. Now, before I begin, yes, this is how I have to actually set it, like put it off, like half of it, hang half of it off of the desk, because I can't even close it. That's how bad this thing is. If I ever close it, this thing is going to fall apart. I'm actually trying to see if I can donate this to a friend, so keep your fingers crossed to see if we can actually put this together again. This is like Humpty Dumpty work right about now. So just so you know, I mean, this is actually a Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 14 API, and you guys can't really read it, but it's right here, upside down, of course. But it came with some Torx screws, and I replaced them with some Phillips head, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And let's just do this. All right, and here we have it. Now, You don't know regular rules as usual. Before you touch anything on the motherboard, you disconnect the battery. So let's do this. And here it is. This is what we're here for. And here she is, guys. In its 1 terabyte Western Digital glory. So now we're going to put this in the enclosure and wrap this up. Well, peeps, this is it now. Well, not not the main event, but some good news. Actually got it right back together again. So I mean, there's a bunch of bits and pieces and broken plastic all over the place, but you don't know. So it go, but it is together again. I'm of course going to have to reinstall Windows. Oh. Yeah, gotta hold this corner while there we go. Yeah, it's shaky, but yeah, it's good. Just need to reinstall Windows, and hopefully it will be of some use to my friend who I'm going to be donating it to. So yeah, moving on to the enclosure and the external hard drive now. So see you there. All right, peeps, and they're back. Right, so here we have the enclosure, the hard drive, and all the other peripherals needed to put the whole piece together. Now this isn't really an unboxing, but this is everything it comes with. The box, of course, the cable, which is actually a USB-C to USB-C, the enclosure itself, of course. This is actually a two-sided tape, and they actually gave you a courtesy, a freebie. So the screwdriver here, Phillips head, some extra spacers and extra screws. Now the spacers are actually for this. Now usually there's a screw here holding it down, but I already removed it. It's over there, and you just simply slide it out. Simple as that. It again, this is all aluminum. It's very cool to the touch, very premium feeling. I like that for the price. And this is it, simple, 2-piece. So let's put that down for a second here. And here is the hard drive, right? The 1 terabyte SSD, NVMe SSD that we removed from the laptop just now, right? This is it. And now proceed to put it in the enclosure. Now it's simple, really easy as 1 2 3. Now you just simply look how that is shaped, and you simply just match it up to how it's shaped. So you see the small piece and the big piece and a little slot in between. There it is, right? So you simply stick it right in there. There you go. Stick it in right in there, and then simply just hold it down. Now this part is a little bit tricky, depends on how good your hand to eye coordination really is. I mean, I'm balancing this with the camera and everything here, so don't mind a few hijinks here and there. Now you stick the spacer. This is one that I found that gives the best fit, and you just simply slip it right here in that crescent shaped spot on a hard drive. And then, well, it's not this screw, it's actually this one here. I pre-selected the best fit screws and spacers and whatever for you guys, and then you just simply screw this in. Actually screw it in right there, but this is a little bit tricky, peeps. Mind me for a second here. There. And then you just screw it right in. You don't need to tighten it too much. Once it, once it stops screwing, that's good enough. And there it is. There it is. Now it's still up in the air a little bit, so when you're actually pushing it into the enclosure, you may have to squeeze it down a bit. But before we get to that, because it's actually flat along the piece here at the bottom here. Now before we get to that, they actually need to add this, right? This is pretty much adds an interface between the drive itself and the aluminum casing for thermal purposes, right? So pretty simple really. I mean, the hardest part of this process is actually just getting that screw to line up. All right, there we go. That's off. So you simply line it up right over this as neatly as possible. Right, and there you go. Good to go. Then you just slip it right into the enclosure. Press it down a bit. This is another tricky part because the space is a bit tight. Get it right up in there. It's a bit tight, but got it done. I double checked it to ensure that there is no issues with the spacing, but I mean, it needs to actually, you know, come into contact with the casing for thermal purposes. And that's it. This screw now that it comes with, you simply put it in here to hold everything together. And that's about it. There you go. There you go. Simple, cheap, easy expanded storage for your MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, whatever. This is it. And you know, if you end up having to change laptops later on, you're good to go. Plug and play, people. So there you have it. Simply connect this to it. You're good to go. Plug it right into your laptop. You're good, right? There you have it. Of course, you're going to need to format it, of course, to get the full use out of it, but that's it. And we're back. And see there? That's it. That's how easy and simple it was. I mean, here's a finished product. You guys can have a look, right? I mean, it's cool to the touch. It's actual metal, and this thing was actually fairly cheap. Paid less than 20 bucks for the enclosure, right? I'm not sure if this particular model is still being sold. I mean, I had it a while back, but I mean, anyone would work. I would recommend one with Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4 speeds, but those are a bit pricey, or can be a bit pricey. But this is more than good enough. This will not be as fast as the storage that is currently in the MacBook Air, but for data transfers, backing up your data, even editing off of it, it is perfectly fine. Good to go. You never experience any slowdowns with it. Now I would show you guys this actually being plugged into and working on the MacBook Air, but wife is currently away right now, and I mean, that's that. But I have to keep the train rolling. Simple. Works like any other storage device, whether you've used a external hard drive or even a flash drive or SD card before. Just plug it in, push it in, that's what she said, and you're good to go. But trust me guys, this was total cost a little over 100 bucks, at least for me. If you buy a more fancy enclosure or an even faster SSD, it may be a little bit more, but it's a far cry from the $200-300 or more that Apple will charge you to improve the storage from factory. To hell with that shit. We're all about saving money, peeps. So thanks for tuning in. You don't know, I appreciate a like, subscribe, and of course hitting that little notification bell so you know when the next video is out. Alright guys, peace and take care.